you were driving for DoorDash?
I was DoorDash listening to TTP podcast.
Yeah.
DoorDashing in Tampa. I was DoorDashing in New York. Delivering food in the projects. I had to figure it out. You know. And
how does it feel now? I mean, looking back, I know we talked about it on the last podcast, but for everybody that hasn't heard, I mean, the momentum is still going. I mean, it was like 60 deals, and then it's like 100 deals, and now it's 150 deals. Welcome to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. I am your host, Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, and I've got back on the podcast again, Elijah Bryant from Tampa Bay. He has done 142 land deals in the last 2 years, and I'm going to pick his brain. I'm going to find out exactly how you've done this. The last podcast went absolutely incredible. People absolutely loved it. They loved your story from going from driving for DoorDash, listening to the podcast, and then going out and taking the action and finding all these deals. I mean, you've done over 150 deals in 2 years, so everybody wants to find out how you did it. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, let's get into it, okay?
Yes, sir.
You've got 142 land deals. Who are you selling these land deals to? Because that's the toughest part. I think when we're thinking about, we can go after land, but then we go, well, who buys the land? Because it's not like it's fix and flippers. It's not like it's buy-in holders. It's got to be people that are either going to do development or maybe it's a neighbor or something like that. So who do you sell these properties to, and then how do you find them?
Yeah, so, Brent, you have 3 different type of builders. So you have tract home builders, you have custom home builders, and then you have spec home builders. So custom home builders, they'll build on your lot if you own it. Tract home builders, they're looking for, large acres, developments.
Yep.
I sell my deals to spec home builders. They're the builders that's going to buy the land, they're going to build a house on it, and then they're going to sell it on the market.
I love it. So this is like, there's kind of like a progression, right? When we start out, it's like we start out and we're wholesaling, right? And then we go to, maybe I'll try to do fix and flips, right? I want to get the whole thing. I want to not just sell it to the cash buyer and get an assignment fee, but I want to flip it and make the whole pie. And then you take it one step further and you're like, you know what? I'm going to just build the house myself, because if you look at the numbers, it costs, I don't know, $150 to $200 to build a house, and then maybe it sells for $350 a square foot to when you sell that house, and there's huge profits in development, and that's who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, that's exactly who I focus on. And what I do first is I Google spec home builders. So
okay.
When you Google spec home builders, they're going to pop up in Google, and that's how you're going to find the area. So once you find that area, you use, you reach the builders on Google. You could also find them on PropStream, which is another service provider.
Yep.
They have cash buyers, they have comps, it's an all-in-one service.
Yeah.
So I reach out to these builders and I find out their criterias, what price they're buying these lots for, and that's when I start my marketing.
And that's how you target the list that you go after.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah. So
you just call them up out of the blue?
Yeah. I just let them know that, I come across discounted lots all the time, and I want to add value to you.
Yeah.
And then they give me their criterias, their price, and that's when I start hunting.
Doesn't it take a long time to build a relationship with them, or are they they're cool right away?
So these builders, they actually need us.
Yeah.
On their websites, they have, chat boxes. They have contact me, sell your land. So literally, they give you all the information right there.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I reach out to them. Once I get their criteria, that's when I pull my marketing for the sellers.
So is it typically these lots that you're selling, are they in town or are they on the outskirts?
So I usually focus outside of metropolitan areas, like big areas. But yeah, once the new developed areas.
Yeah.
So once I see a new developed area, that's where I focus on.
I love it. So it's like in the path of progress.
Yes.
Like things are going out that way, and you're are these already in neighborhoods and they just didn't fill out the whole neighborhood yet, or are these big pieces of land that they have to go and subdivide, and they have to put in the utilities, and they have to do all that?
No, so they're already neighborhoods,
Yeah.
but they're not all fully developed. So
Right.
there'll be like a house, and then an empty lot, and then another empty lot, then a house. So I focus on those lots that are next to houses because I know they usually have utilities already. There's already sewer in the area. So I just give offers based off of that.
So I love the way that you approach this, because you're approaching it as where are you buying and what price.
Yeah, so I reverse wholesale.
Right.
So I find that builder, he gives me his criteria, because I don't like to lock up a deal without having a buyer in mind.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
so
genius.
once that builder gives me their criteria, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Because I know what to look for now.
Well, and I think that's the biggest problem, right? I'm sure people reach out to you all the time after the last podcast, asking you, how do I come up with my offer price for land? And I get that question a lot. And I think, when I was starting out, I had no idea. Right,
Yeah.
I had no idea. I would see a vacant lot, and I would be like, "Well, I'll look it up and see what I could look it up on the county treasurer and see what the tax assessor says that lot's for." But that didn't mean anything, right? That wasn't the true value of it. That's just what the state was charging property taxes on.
Yeah.
And so, really figuring it out, I was like, okay, how do I know what to offer? And I was always told that builders will offer between 10 and 20% of what the house will sell for once it's built. But you don't even worry about that.
No. Nope. So, like how I got my first deal, I had a land in my my pipeline.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a deal. And I'm just, focusing on houses. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try to sell this. So I reached out to a developer, and he told me his price, and I had it at a lower price, and that's how I got my first one. And then from there, he just like, I want this price in this area, I want this price in this area, and that's how I just went through all of Florida.
All of Florida.
Yeah,
Florida's huge.
Yep. Yeah, I literally probably closed the deal in every county in Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And you do it all from your phone?
All from my phone, laptop, and not just Florida.
Right.
I closed my biggest deal in North Carolina.
You have a deal going on in Arizona, right?
I have a deal in Arizona that we're checking out tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! So you could do this anywhere.
You could do this anywhere. You could be out of the country.
Right.
I closed the deal while I was in Costa Rica, earlier this year.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Isn't that the best?
It's the best feeling ever, because when I was doing houses, I would have to drive an hour or two to check out this house. And it's not a guarantee that I could lock it up, too. So if I don't lock it up, I just wasted an hour drive there and an hour drive back. Now with land, I'm just home all day, just making calls, just giving out offers and locking it up.
And you are just wholesaling them?
Just wholesaling. I actually bought multiple as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you buy them instead of just wholesale them?
Because I got a huge discount, and I do want to eventually build and do what the builders is doing,
Well, I mean, you're going to learn from the best, right? Because you're seeing what they're doing and what numbers they're looking at, and you're going to understand what price. That's the beautiful side that I don't think a lot of people think about when we go out and source the deals, is we can see from start to finish, what they bought it for, what we could get it for, right? And then what they bought it, our cash buyers buy it from us, how much they put into that property, and then what they sell it for. You can figure out the profit, and that really keeps you up to date with the market, right? Because if you're just, selling properties out there and you're not really keeping a track of what's going on with those properties, you really don't know the trends as fast as you following up with these developers and seeing, oh, okay, well, I sold it to them for $10,000. They put $150,000 and they sold it for $400,000. They made $100,000 on this.
Yep.
That's a good business plan.
Yeah, I need that.
Right?
That's where I'm slowly getting into, and acres as well. But I mainly focus on the infill lots right now.
And so, how do you find these? How do you go about? I mean, we talked about the buyers, which I think is the most important part right now, is figuring out. And I think this is for everybody. This is for everybody that's doing wholesale. It's not just for land, but everybody should go to all the buyers, all the cash buyers, and reverse engineer. What the reverse wholesale it. Figure out what prices, what area, and how fast they can do it. And that'll save a lot of heartache from locking up deals that you can't sell. But how do you find the sellers?
Yeah, so basically I knew I was coming out here, right? 2-3 weeks ago. So, I had my virtual assistants, virtual drive for dollars. And what that is they're literally picking out every lot within the county or the zip code. And we're creating our own list. So I know that this lot is next to a house. It most likely has utilities, water. So if you pull lists, you may get those lots that don't have anything. I don't like wasting time or data. So I literally have them look for each lot, and then I reach out to the sellers, text, cold call, direct mail.
Love it.
And that's my funnel right there.
Explain to people that have never heard a real estate podcast before, what is virtual driving for dollars?
So literally with PropStream, the provider I use, you can literally pick each lot in the city, right? So if I see a house, a lot, and a house, I could literally pick that lot and
like
put
a satellite view.
Like a satellite view, and see the whole area. And I literally create that whole list from doing that.
And you're just going through a satellite and just selecting all the vacant lots and adding it to the list. And then skip tracing them?
Skip tracing them, and then I contact the builder, see what price he's buying these lots in the zip code or area. Once he gives me that, that's when I give my offers out.
And then how do you get a hold of the sellers? Are you mailing them? Are you calling them? Are you texting them?
I always start off with texting. That's my first line of contact. And the people that don't answer my texts, I cold call them. So that's the second line of contact. So now the people that don't answer the cold calls, that's when I direct mail them. And also I direct mail the people that don't come back from the text and skip tracing. So it's like...
Say that again, because I think people are going to miss that part. You direct mail the people that...
So when you skip trace, not everybody's number...
There's a percentage.
It's a small percentage, So I make sure export those people that don't come back skip trace, and then I direct mail those.
What do you send them?
So I send them a yellow letter street view picture. And I got one of my best deals from that. And the reason why is they said that I took a picture of their lot, which I never did. I just got a street view picture. So they said that they love my mail. They said, I actually went to the lot and took a picture. And that's why they did business with me.
Incredible. So it's just a Google image, though.
It's a Google image.
And it's like a software that does that just pulls the image of the lot and sends it out.
It's like a street view picture of the lot. So it looks like I actually took the picture.
I get it.
But I didn't take the picture. It's just on the mailing. And I told them, I could give them an offer within 5 to 10 minutes.
Love it.
And they called me, and that's what happened.
And again, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you were driving for DoorDash?
I was DoorDash listening to TTP podcast. DoorDashing in Tampa. I was DoorDashing in New York, delivering food in the projects. I had to figure it out, you know? And
how does it feel now? I mean, looking back, I know we talked about it on the last podcast, but for everybody that hasn't heard, I mean, the momentum is still going. I mean, it was like 60 deals, and then it's like 100 deals, and now it's 150 deals. I mean, how do you look back and you're like...
First of all, like, even being in this podcast right now in this room, it's a blessing. And I want to give you your flowers now because you really impacted and changed my life. And, while I was DoorDashing, it felt like I was in the room with you while listening to TTP podcast. So now being here, it's like a dream come true. Like, somebody pinch me or something,
well, I'm glad you're here.
But...
Well, listen, you did all the hard work, and you went in, and it takes a special person to listen to a podcast and then actually take action on the podcast. And that's exactly what you did. Not only that, but you decided to go a totally different route when you started with land. And I know that you did 12 houses before you got into it, and then you started really figuring out land. Incredible. I mean, just an incredible journey so far, and it's just getting started. How old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
28.
I turned 28 yesterday.
Happy birthday. That's
you.
incredible. So at 28 years old, you've already done 150 real estate transactions.
Yep, 154 to be exact.
Incredible.
Yep, and counting, because...
What does your family think?
Oh, man. They can't
Honestly,
believe it.
Do you talk to them about it?
Of course,
or is
all
it one
the time.
of those things? Yeah.
You know, my family, they call me Neo.
Yeah.
Like from the Matrix
The
now.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with wholesaling, you're making big checks, you know, especially with land. You know, last month, I closed about 10, 15 deals, right? All these deals is 5 to 10,000. You know, I got one for 17,000, and that's like consistently, not just one a week. You know, 2, 3 a week.
Yeah.
You know, so most people, they work a regular 9-to-5 job. They get paid twice a week. So when you're getting multiple checks, it's like unreal to the average eye. But no, this is common.
Well, do you have a real estate degree?
No real estate degree.
Was there somebody that's been doing real estate for many, many years in your family or friend group or anything?
Nobody.
Right.
You know, I tried to get my license as well, and, you know, didn't pass the test.
Right.
You know, wholesaling really changed
Well, you
my
passed
life.
the test by doing 154 deals, I'll tell you that.
Right.
Yeah, that's the real test. That's absolutely incredible. Well, let's break down a deal. Let's break down a deal that you're doing right now, or something that you've closed, whatever you want, whatever's fun and exciting.
Yeah, so actually, like I said, 2-3 weeks ago, knowing I was coming here, I decided to market in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I had my virtual assistants.
Real quick, have you ever been in Arizona before?
No, this is my first time in Arizona.
So 2 to 3 weeks ago, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Arizona. I'm going to go see Brent. Let's go get a deal.
Yep. So that's exactly what my mindset was. I got to bring something to
I love you. That is.
I got to bring something to Brent.
That's the energy. Yep.
So I had my virtual assistants, virtual drive for dollars in Arizona, and we came across this area that kind of looked like Florida. So I found a builder, and he told me his price, and I just gave out offers from there. And I found actually my land acquisitions, Jamal. He got this guy. He wants to sell 26 lots.
Yeah.
And
Jamal's here.
And he's here.
Get out here, Jamal.
Shout out to Jamal.
Get over here. Get on here.
Yes, sir. But we're gonna get them for 15,000.
Yeah.
And the developer wants them for 20,000.
Say that again. You're getting it for. There he is. Say hello to everybody.
What's going on, guys?
So who'd you talk to?
What's his name? Gary Sager?
Okay,
Yes,
so you talked to Gary, and Gary is get by the mic so everybody can hear you. So Gary he owns the land, or he's the builder?
He owns the land. So
Okay.
He owns about 26 different lots, single units.
Yeah.
So we spoke and got a commitment for 4 of them. And we want to do an option to buy the rest of 19 within a 6-month period.
Sure.
So
Absolutely incredible. And you guys meet him tomorrow?
We're meeting the developer tomorrow.
Got it.
'Cause he's
And you already
actually-
met Gary?
no, just over
No, over the phone.
Over the
Does he
phone.
even live here?
No, he lives. Well, while we were speaking, he was on his way to Tennessee.
Okay.
So yeah, he was traveling, so it was kind of hard to
So you're meeting the developer out there to pre-sell it, and then you're going to go lock up Gary.
Right.
And you already know what Gary wants?
Yeah. So we spoke between 15,000.
Yep.
15 and 18. So
Yeah.
we're trying to get him for 15.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And your developers at what price?
20 for each lot. Yep.
I mean, you sell 4 of them, that's 20,000, right? You sell all of them, now we're doing big deals, right?
We're hoping to get 60,000 from out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not hope. Let's just get it done.
Exactly.
Let's get it done.
Exactly.
Great. Great work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Good
it.
to see you. That's awesome. The dream team here.
I know. And
So Jamal's been doing a lot of real estate his whole life, right?
no, not at all.
Right?
You know, he seen that I was closing deals.
You're right.
He contacted me and said, "Bro, I need to get in with you."
Yeah.
And you know, he's been a rock star for me.
He's just on the phones.
Or just on the
Wasn't he
phones.
nervous?
At first, a little bit.
Sure.
But eventually, he understand that this is all just talking to people. That's
it.
That's all we have to do.
That's it.
We come from New York, so we've been through situations that's way worse than talking to people.
Sure.
Giving offers out.
Yeah.
And we actually are helping people as well.
Yeah.
Some people really need to sell their land.
Sure.
And they don't know how to go about it. So that's where we come in and we help them as well.
Do you feel like is it easier to do people with, because I've probably done 50 land deals, and like half of them were like, they were behind on their taxes, right? And they just didn't want to pay their tax bill, and they just wanted us to kind of take it over. And these were kind of rural properties. These weren't like what you're talking about in town. They were really small deals. But they were just like, yeah, you know what? If you if you pay my taxes, it's yours. Do you run across a lot of these lots that owe property taxes on it, or those property taxes are kind of eating them up year after year, or is it just it doesn't really factor in?
Yeah, we come across those a lot as well.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that really want to sell quick, because a lot of times they will go to auction, right? So they need to sell quick, within 10, 15, 30 days.
Yeah.
So that's when we come in and we provide value.
I love it. 142 land deals. Let's ring this for that.
Sir,
That's
I
it.
couldn't wait for this. Yes, sir.
Oh, I celebrate you. I love it. That is absolutely incredible. I mean, listen, just from being on the phone, you could do this anywhere.
Anywhere.
Phone, laptop, you just get satellite images of lots. You find developers, builders in the area, and you match them up.
And we text, cold call, and send Street View direct mail pieces.
Incredible. And if people want to reach out to you and maybe learn from you or just be in your world, what's the best way from that? Everybody should reach out to you. You know what I mean? I think that you're making a real connection with everybody out there that doesn't have a lot of experience in this and maybe is a little bit nervous. You said before this podcast that you're naturally a shy person, right? But here you are talking to all these strangers all the time, and you really broke out of it. You really got into the flow of this. You know what I mean? So how can people reach out to you and get some support? Yeah,
so you could reach me on Facebook at Elijah Bryant, my name, and Instagram, Thy Book of Eli. So THYBOOK Eli. Of Eli.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
And we'll have it all in the show notes, and we'll have it so everybody reach out and send a message to Elijah. I am telling you, he is excited to reach out because doesn't it feel good, right? Once you start getting into the rhythm of doing something and somebody's excited about it, you're like, yeah, I'd love to help you out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's that part of you that's like, well, there's like all these billions of people that have no interest in doing land deals, and there's like this group that is like, you want to support them, right?
Yes, of course. There's a lot of people that reached out to me that I gave them a few gems, and then a week later they get a $10,000 deal under contract.
Right.
So that's the thing about land is it's a smaller niche.
Yeah.
Not that many people is doing it. So that's where you could come into the game with a low marketing budget and make a good amount of money.
Love it. Thanks for being on here.
Thank you.
Again, second time. This is fantastic. Incredible. Guys, reach out, Thy Book of Eli at Instagram, and Elijah Bryant on Facebook. Definitely reach out and make that contact and get into his world. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Tap in. That's it. And if you're interested, before I get to that, I've got two resources. Actually, just one. You said PropStream. You can get that at ttpdata.com. If you're interested in that, you get a free trial at ttpdata.com. Check out what that's all about. Incredible tool. And if you're interested in joining the most proactive community in real estate investing, it is the Rhino Tribe. Go to wholesalinginc.com. Go to wholesalinginc.com. Check out what it's all about. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call, and we look forward to bringing you into the community. And also, I look forward to working with you personally. And that's it. Thank you for joining us. And as always, I will sign off encouraging you to go out there and talk to people. Love you.